I need your support. Please subscribe to my channel. I never thought something as ordinary as turning a key could unravel my entire reality. Standing at the front door, my hand gripped the cold metal knob, the chill biting into my skin. From inside, muted music throbbed against the walls, lights flickering in sharp rhythms that carved restless shadows across the living room. My chest hammered, each beat heavier, weighted by a sick mix of dread and anticipation. And then I heard it, her laughter, tangled with someone else's voice, soft and intimate. The sound rooted me to the spot. Every instinct urged me to storm inside, demand answers, expose the truth. Yet fear held me still, the fear of what I might find if I did. The signs I had brushed off replayed in my mind, whispered calls in the dark, secretive glances at her phone, the subtle shifts in her behavior. I told myself I was paranoid, imagining it all. But tonight, every ignored suspicion roared in my ears, undeniable. I needed to see it for myself. Acting on a reckless impulse, I slid the key into my pocket and locked the door from the outside. For an instant, I pictured her confusion, the panic in her eyes when she realized she was shut out. I told myself it was about taking back control, regaining a sliver of power in the chaos of my life. But that illusion shattered the second her phone buzzed. Her name lit up the screen. My hands shook as I answered, voice taut with strain. "Where are you?" I demanded. "Locked out," she said, almost playfully, as if it were nothing. My stomach dropped. That wasn't the tone of someone who had simply forgotten her key. There was something evasive, something carefully concealed beneath her words. Behind her voice, I caught faint sounds, the scrape of chairs, clinking glasses, and then a laugh. A man's laugh. Deep. Familiar. It cut straight through me. Clutching the phone tighter, I forced my voice to stay steady. "Who's there?" I asked, though the tremor in my hands betrayed me. "Just a friend," she answered too quickly, too lightly. My pulse raced. "Don't lie," I hissed. For the first time, her laughter faltered. Silence stretched between us, thick and suffocating. Finally, she whispered, heavy with guilt and fear. "You don't understand. It's not what you think." I sank onto the porch steps, the concrete hard and cold beneath me, the keys slipping from my fingers. Rage threatened to spill out, to scream, to hurl the phone, to destroy something, yet all I could do was sit and let the truth crush me. Betrayal had always been something distant, a story from books and films. But here, in my own home, it pierced me with unbearable sharpness. Looking back, the evidence was almost laughably obvious: a lipstick stain on her coffee mug, the faint trace of another man's cologne in our sheets, her sudden obsession with guarding her phone. Each small clue had been a breadcrumb leading me to this moment. One broken word escaped me, raw and hollow. "Why?" Her silence weighed heavier than any reply. At last, her voice cracked, nearly breaking. "Maybe we've been living apart for longer than you realized." I wanted to rage, to rip apart every excuse, to rebuild the ruins of what we had. But I couldn't. All I could do was feel it, the betrayal, like a blow to the chest, every heartbeat echoing in the emptiness where trust once lived. Minutes blurred into hours. Time lost meaning. I sat on the porch, listening to faint laughter fading inside, while the corrosive truth settled deep into my bones. When the music finally ceased and the lock clicked open, I still didn't move. She stepped outside, searching my face, maybe for forgiveness, maybe for anger, but all she found was the broken shadow of my grief. "You can't do this," she said, her voice trembling, stripped of confidence. "You can't lock me out." "I can," I whispered, soft and reverent in my sorrow. And I did. Because I needed to see. Because I needed to know. Her eyes met mine then, and I saw fear, real, raw fear. The same fear I thought was mine alone. But it was too late. The door between us had already closed, not just the wooden one, but the one built from betrayal, doubt, and the fracture of something we once called love. I remained there long after she left, the night air heavy with tension, silence, and the bitter sting of a neighbor's cigarette. The keys weighed cold in my hand, a reminder that some locks can never be undone. And in that stillness, I realized something painful but final: love, no matter how deep, can shatter in an instant, by choice, by chance, or by the quiet betrayal of the one you trust most. I whispered her name once into the night, then let it disappear. Trust was gone. Our hearts lay in pieces.